Before we get into this video, shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video and keeping my lights on. I don't think a single person who's watching this video right now doesn't know who SeatGeek is by now. There's a reason that almost every creator I'm sure you watch has advertised them at least at some point in time. It's not because of they pay us, no. It's because we truly believe in the product and service that they provide. This app is literally a must-have if you're an NBA fan that ever plans on going to an NBA game, because buying tickets on SeatGeek, it's such a simple experience, and that's really what you want when you're buying tickets. And it's even better because you get a $20 off discount off your first order when you use promo code SDC. So I'll have the links down in the description box below. Like I said, if you ever plan on going to a game, get SeatGeek. I can't even be mad at Joel Embiid. The first time the Sixers played the Pistons this year, Joel Embiid got the better of Andre Drummond. And after the game, of course, he wanted it to just be known that he's in Andre Drummond's head, as he said that he owns a lot of real estate in Andre Drummond's head, which Drummond at the time did take offense to, and he replied on Twitter. After that though, it pretty much died down. No one cared about Joel Embiid versus Andre Drummond until last night again, when the two of them faced off for the second time this year. And in this game, it was as if Joel Embiid was trying to prove the point that he really is in the head of Andre Drummond, that he owns Andre Drummond. As in just the first couple minutes of the game, Andre Drummond had to be subbed out because of Joel Embiid. And in the first half, this is what the matchup between the two of them looked like. Embiid had 32 points and 8 rebounds, while Drummond had 1 rebound. That's it. And then after the game, which the Sixers of course won by the way, Joel Embiid went to social media and posted, "I own a lot of real estate in Andre Drummond's head, and I'm on my way to build more, #bum." Called the man a bum. And a message to Andre Drummond real quick. Ever since last year, when Joel Embiid called you out after a game and said that you can't defend him, he's been in your head building real estate ever since then. And you just allowed him to stay there and build more and more and more real estate after each and every single time you play against him. After every time you play against him, you get worse. That's because you're so focused on making it a 1v1 between you and Joel Embiid instead of doing what you're supposed to do. Instead of playing your game, you're trying to show off against Joel Embiid. You're doing things out there on the court that you know you shouldn't be doing. Taking shots that you never made in your life just to try and prove a point. Almost as if to say, anything Joel Embiid can do, I can do too. But the thing is, you can't. I might get copyrighted for showing this clip real quick to you guys, but it is what it is. I can't make this video without showing this clip. And also listen to what the Sixers commentators are saying.
To start the season. Drummond issued to the Pistons as we begin the second. Andre Drummond is back in your picture. He's going to try to take on Embiid. Wow. Did he actually expect that to go in?
Man. That was a professional basketball player right there. That was terrible. That was worse than the 3 he took earlier.
Andre Drummond, please just swallow your pride and acknowledge that Joel Embiid is the better player. And you're not Joel Embiid on the offensive end. You have no business taking those step back off one leg fadeaway jumpers. That's a shot that Joel Embiid takes. That's not your game. You want to have a big game against him so badly that you've doomed the Detroit Pistons the second the tip-off begins, because you make it all about yourself. And that just shows you how much he really is in your head. So the bottom line is, mentally, Andre Drummond, you're a bit too weak to play against Joel Embiid mentally, and he knows that. We can all see that now too. So until you learn to have thicker skin and realize that when you play against the Sixers, it's not about you versus Joel Embiid, it's about the Detroit Pistons versus the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid will own you. The veterans on the Cleveland Cavaliers should be absolutely ashamed of themselves for this. Putting the rookie on blast, blaming him for how bad you guys have been to start the season. All right, so we got reports out last night saying that the Cavaliers veterans don't think Collin Sexton, quote, knows how to play. It's becoming increasingly clear that when you hear Cavs veterans talk about younger players not knowing their role or knowing how to win or what to do on the court, they mean Collin Sexton. Throughout the organization, the line on Sexton is that he does not know how to play. And this is according to The Athletic's Joe Vardone. Now, admittedly, Colin Sexton hasn't been that great for the Cavs this year. There's no denying that 100% okay, he hasn't been that good. But here's the thing, if you're a veteran on this Cleveland Cavaliers team, or even just another player on the team or have anything to do with the team in general, you should never, ever call out a rookie 9 games into the season and point to him being the reason that you guys aren't winning games. It's as if they're looking for a scapegoat to blame for them not being able to shock the NBA world like they all claimed they would do before the season started. As if they're still in denial from the fact that LeBron James really was their entire organization and the only reason that they won more than 20 games last year. It's absolutely disgraceful. He's a rookie that hasn't even played 10 games in the NBA yet, and you're trying to make him the scapegoat. LeBron James himself didn't even throw any of you under the bus last year when things were going wrong with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The media, the fans, everyone will be pointing to you guys for being the reason that the Cavs sucked. And every time LeBron James was pretty much prompted to say that this is true, he 100% denied it and stuck up for you guys. But as soon as things start to hit the fan this season and you realize that you really do suck, you throw the new guy under the bus. Y'all never deserve LeBron. So the Los Angeles Lakers, who won again yesterday, their second win in a row. And it's so easy to tell when people are overreacting to a team or a player, because if that player or team loses a game, it's the end of the world. But as soon as they start winning, no one says anything. But if they were to lose again, once again, it returns to the end of the world. This off and on phenomenon that this team is going to be okay and then this team is trash, that really tells you they're not, people are overreacting to the situation. And people were for sure overreacting to the Lakers not starting off so great this year, calling for Luke Walton to be fired 8 games into the season. But now they're 4-5 on the year, and you don't hear any of that anymore. The Lakers are going to be fine this year. They're making the playoffs, and that's all that matters. Once again, anything else that they accomplish on top of that this year is just the icing on the cake. And the Houston Rockets defeated the Chicago Bulls last night, 96-88. And even though they did win this game, I can't come out and say that it's all good news for the Houston Rockets just yet. They did beat the Bulls, but let's not forget, in the third quarter of this game, the Bulls, well, they were just about as bad as you could get. They only scored 7 points in the third quarter, and despite that, the Rockets still only win the game by 8 points. Granted, the problem for Houston in this game was their offense, and if that's the problem for Houston, then you really shouldn't be worried about Houston. Oh, there was a scary moment in this one when Donovan Mitchell apparently went down with an ankle injury in the fourth quarter, and then was walked to the locker room, but he was unable to put any pressure on his injured leg. However, he did later return to the game with about 2 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter, and after the game, he said that he's completely fine. He was just being a big baby. He's used to spraining his ankle all the time. He just never tapes ankle, but now he might start doing that, so he's fine. So that's great news right there. The Utah Jazz season has been saved. So that's great news for the Jazz, even though they did lose this game 103-88 to the Denver Nuggets. And as far as the Denver Nuggets go, this team is now 8-1 on the year, and a lot of fans are giving Nikola Jokic a lot of credit for the success that the Nuggets have been able to find so far this season, and he does deserve a heck of a lot of credit. Even though he couldn't hit a shot, the man was still amazing yesterday with 16 assists. But they have some other really great players on that team too. Gary Harris has to be one of the most underrated players in the league. And the Nuggets this year aren't going to be that team that barely has to try and scrape into the playoffs. They're really looking like they're going to contend for the title of the second best team in the West. And the Indiana Pacers were able to defeat the Boston Celtics yesterday, 102-101, off of Victor Oladipo triple with 3 seconds left to go in the game. Victor Oladipo with 24 points and 12 rebounds on the night. Spurs were able to win again yesterday, handing the Pelicans their 5th loss in a row, 109-95. DeMar DeRozan continues his hot start to the season with 26 points. And Trae Young definitely isn't a bust. He's actually a really fun player to watch, and when he gets going, the Hawks as a team become really fun to watch. He was amazing yesterday with 25 points and 15 assists as Atlanta claims a 123-118 win over Miami. And lastly, even though the Cavs veterans might try and put this loss on the rookie, the real reason that they got blown up by the Hornets is simply because they suck. 126-94. I'm sorry, but if you get blown up by the Hornets like this, you're trash. End of story. That though is going to lead us to the player of the day, where you guys have the opportunity to vote for who you think was the best player in the NBA yesterday by clicking the little eye icon in the top right hand corner of the video. Just remember though, the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And that's gonna do it for everything that we had to talk about today. Thank you all for watching. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on so you can stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. That's gonna do it for me today though, guys, so until tomorrow, I'm out of here. Peace.